feels amazing to me. What I want you to do is I want you to take your beliefs, your thoughts, and your feelings and put them in the parking lot. And I want you to be brave and have some courage and be vulnerable as you walk down this path of being non-binary or gender fluid. And I want you to imagine that you just woke up, and they won't give me coffee, just to let you know, because I'm pretty hyper. But you just woke up, and you realize your body is female, but your outer gender expression is male. But your inner expression, you feel everything, you feel everybody's pain, is female. So your view of the world is actually both. How do you navigate a world that's both? That you are non-binary or gender fluid? Well, there's two main problems with that as you travel along my journey. Is that, what do you call me? I'm not a he, I'm not a she. I'm an identical twin, so I'm not a they, I'm a Z. So when you're talking to people, and we see a lot of email signatures and things like that, people are starting to talk about their pronouns. Would be really helpful is that when you're saying, hey, my name is Jules, and my original name is Julie, but I go by Jules because it's more gender neutral. I'm more in the middle. And so I'm not a he or a she, I'm just Z. So, I know. So then you have the other problem, bathrooms, right? We hear a lot about the talks of bathrooms right now. We hear about, the bathrooms, and let me tell you about the bathroom. So I want to walk into a male bathroom, but I can't because I'm too afraid to do that. I mean, I do that, lines are shorter, so that is a much better place to be. But when I go into a female's bathroom and I have a tie on, I'll have people looking at the sign, and then they'll point to me and they'll look at the sign like I can't see them, or they'll be threatened. They'll feel threatened. They'll feel like I'm threatening them. And if you know me, I am like a jelly bean. I mean, I'm like marshmallow. I'm pretty mushy person. So there's nothing to be threatened by me. But if you're just looking at the outside, that's what you see. Is you see a male, and so it's confusing for people, right? Now, walk down my journey 10 months ago. I felt like I was a burden to society. I felt alone. I felt like no one cared because I was listening to what society was telling me that I wasn't okay. And that is how 40% of the transgender community feel, that they attempt suicide. So what I'm asking you to do today, I have a call to action to change the suicide rate. And we can do this. And that is why this talk is so important of finding the middle ground in gender. It's not easy to be in the middle, but it's also a blessing. It's also a gift. And so what I'm asking people to do is think about this. Think about being in the middle. And when I'm asking people for a call to action, I'm asking you to change the way in which you think about gender. See, if you're an educator, don't say he or she or ladies or gentlemen. Say people. And if you're a researcher and you have demographics, add non-binary and gender fluid to your category so you can recognize the people in the middle. And if you are a professional and I'm calling you for help, don't genderize me and say, sir, and then put me on hold. First of all, if you're in an emergency and you put me on hold, not a great idea. But I mean, you really have to think about how we communicate. It's not just birth certificates, it's not just bathrooms, it's every form of communication. That's how we change this world, one form at a time. We look at the timesheet. It just says female or male. It doesn't have non-binary gender fluid. Look at your forms. Include the person in the middle. Now, I was asked, I just thought about the earlier TED Talk about, when did I see a doctor? Well, I saw a doctor, I broke my elbow. And the doctor wanted me to wear a gown, and I did not feel comfortable. So I did it for the x-rays, and then I changed, and he yelled at me, and he wasn't going to service me. But he didn't realize that I suffer from body dysphoria. So you don't ever know what someone's going through. And so to be more inclusive is to really try to understand that you don't really know how people are reacting or what they're doing. Now I'm going to end with this amazing story. So walk with me to New York, where you're going to go see a Broadway play. And you go into, after the restaurant, I had to go to the bathroom, and I'm always frightened because I wear a tie, and I never know how that's going to work. So I walk into the bathroom. There's an older lady and a younger lady there. And the older lady's like, "There's a man in the bathroom." And usually I say nothing, especially with the climate right now. It's not really a warm and fuzzy time for me to be able to say something. But usually I say nothing. But this time I decided to say, "No, just in the middle." And the younger lady looks at me and goes, "Yes. And you are a child of God. And you are loved. And you are perfect, exactly the way you are." What an amazing response. That took 15 seconds. So that's how we change this world, one form at a time, one human connection at a time. And that's how we find the middle ground in gender. Thank you so much for your time.